Okay, so what we have here is a smokeless fire pit from a company called Bonslife. They call this the Bond stove. This is their 19.5-inch stainless fire pit, and these are very popular. You know, there's several companies that make them. The original one, I think Solo, has been on the market for a number of years. Now we're starting to see some competition, and we're going to see how this one holds up. So, pretty classic design. You're pulling in cold air, goes through the bottom, superheats. As that air gets into the combustion area, you're burning the wood down there with the primary burn, and then you got your superheated air that comes up here and injects basically into the airstream, and that is giving you a secondary burn to get rid of all that smoke, or theoretically get rid of all of that. And then they explain all that here. So we're going to go ahead and open this thing up and see what it's all about with my assistant.
Oh.
Normally I let you open things up, but your knife handling skills have been called into question.
Practice makes perfect.
Okay, top ring, undamaged, looks good. Not sure what we got here. Piece of
Like a cover?
aluminum.
Weird.
We'll figure this out. This must be this is to cover the stove when not in use. Like that. Unknown piece of aluminum. Heavy ring.
Well packaged.
It is well packaged, very well protected. Much appreciated. All right, there's that. Okay. Where the hell this goes? Oh, this must be the base.
It's not.
Pencil.
It's crooked.
I'm just thinking. Okay, so we've got it all unboxed. Kind of a cool little design element here. They got some flames, little fire pit flames. You got the Bond stove logo embossed into the stainless. It's 304 stainless. Here's your top ring. The bottom of it, it's not a series of holes like some of the other ones. It's actually got a different pattern to it. Larger air openings in the middle, which that might actually help induce a little more airflow in the center of the fire. And your secondary air ports are all right here. It's well constructed. I got no issues with the design or the quality of the actual fire pit. Comes with this ring here, no instructions, so I'm assuming this is to lift the fire pit off. Let's say if you had a wood deck or something and you wanted to create a little bit of airflow underneath to prevent it from overheating and burning your deck. I believe that's what that's for. I'm not going to need it, so I'm not going to use it. There's the cover. And figured out what the use of this is. When you need to put this on or off while the unit's running, not running, but when it's still hot, this would allow you to effectively get this ring on and off. But now we got some firewood. You got a cocktail?
I've got some wine. What are you gonna have?
I'm probably gonna get a beer once I get this thing started. So go ahead and cheat and use fire starting sticks.
It's like tic-tac-toe.
And the humidity today is about 95%. I feel like I'm in a shower, so this is going to be a great time to build a nice hot fire in the backyard.
Yeah. Ideal situation here.
That's all right. I'm going to get this going. And one thing about these smokeless stoves, you don't ever want to have the wood above the top of the stove. So we're kind of screwing that up right off the bat. But that's how it's going to go. Once it gets up and running good, this thing will lay down and we'll be fine.
What is the ring supposed to do?
I think it just slows the air
Oh.
that's coming up out of the secondary, kind of pushes it in.
Okay.
So the smoke you're seeing right now is from the fire starting sticks. Has nothing to do with the design. Okay, so we've been burning for 10 minutes now, and we're not getting any smoke. All the well, there's a little bit from the starter sticks. There's still a little bit, but it's burning pretty darn clean. And I do have the wood slightly above the top surface of the fire pit, which is kind of a no-no. But overall, yeah, it's doing good. We'll see if we can see some of the secondary combustion. Kind of hard to tell, but it is definitely pulling air through and getting a pretty complete burn. You can see the discoloration of the stainless steel from the heat, which is perfectly normal. And the main body of the fire pit itself is also getting a little bit of a patina and tone to it. It's putting out a lot of heat. What are you feeling it?
Yeah, it's a little warm.
The fact that it's July in the deep south and the humidity it's ridiculous. But I think in the wintertime this would be very cozy as a fire pit. So temperature wise, the thermal camera only goes up to 770 degrees, so it's maxed out at the top opening there. But the outside of the fire pit, it's run 245 degrees. And you can see that thermal column that's coming straight up out of there, but you cannot see the smoke. It's burning very clean. One thing I will have to just note is that the top ring that you place on there with all the heat that's coming up, it's slightly warped. So I don't know, I doubt that that's going to settle itself back into position. I think that's just a result of the design of this and the heat. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just something I just literally, after having a fire run for 20 minutes, it's already kind of warped that a little bit. And you can see there is a gap on this side, and then it's sitting low there. But that's my only criticism at this point. I didn't use the lifting ring. I'm just letting it sit right on the pavement. And yeah, it's a hot little unit. I mean, it's cranking it out. And the main thing is you're not seeing any smoke. Your neighbors aren't going to get mad. It's complete combustion, which is the goal of these units. So we're going to keep this going for a few minutes. See how she goes. All right, one thing I gotta point out: these things consume wood like crazy. If you have any of these smokeless stoves, they burn so complete so quickly. It eats wood like crazy. Check out my other video about these redstone hardwood sawdust fire bricks. These are super cheap, and these burn great inside these units. I'm going to throw one in, and bang for the buck. That is the way to go. A lot of people use wood pellets. Those not fire bricks, but those sawdust bricks do a great job.
Nice.
Now we'll run to the fire line. And yeah, you're getting good, clean combustion. And you can see that fire brick, or I keep calling it fire brick. You can see that sawdust brick in there starting to char, and it's going to just start breaking up, and it's great fuel for these types of fire pits. And it saves you a lot of money. So what do you think so far?
I'm impressed with it.
Okay, so we've been burning for quite a while now, and I think the warpage that we saw on that top ring was due to just a ridiculous amount of heat. This thing was burning very hot initially, and now that ring appears to have kind of settled back down into its spot, and actually looks fine. So just watch your temperatures. I think I just got her going a little too hot there at the start, and that's what created that warping issue. Once the temperatures resumed to a little more normal rate, we're seeing the top lid is laying flat now. So everything else is going good. You're seeing good secondary burn and little to no smoke. I mean, there's a tiny bit here and there, but that's normal with all these quote-unquote smokeless fire pits. There's no way to ensure 100% efficiency. But yeah, I'm still impressed. How about you? Are you still impressed?
Well, it's been nice not having to play musical chairs
What's musical chairs for?
to escape the smoke.
Oh, I thought it was a game you played.
Well, that too.
Yeah, that not having smoke drift around the campsite is always good, and that's what makes these things so great. Is you do get much cleaner combustion. You don't walk home smelling like you just got through fighting a wildland fire for 2 hours, and yeah. So far so good, man. I'm impressed with the burn quality and the general overall quality of the device. Haven't used the cover, and I don't have a need for the lift adapter, but at this point, yeah, it's a good fire pit. Seems to be doing a good job, and pretty much not producing a lot of smoke, which is exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so this thing's been burning for probably just about an hour, and it's still burning clean, getting good combustion. You see good combustion down there at where the air openings are at the bottom of the fire pit. I feel like it's getting better airflow at the base than the competition. And the secondary seems to be doing a fine job as well. You can kind of see it doing its thing. But yeah, this is a decent fire pit. It does exactly what you would expect it to do, and the warping of the top ring is probably my only critical comment. And as this thing cools off later, it'll hopefully resume its original profile. But yeah, man, this is a legit smokeless fire pit. If you're looking for one, I've got no complaints, and I'll put the links, all the information as far as where you can get this in my video description. And as always, thank you for watching. I don't need a thumbs up. I don't need you to subscribe. I just it makes me happy when people watch these videos and get honest feedback. So have a awesome rest of the day.